It's Juvenis.
The president of Isoko Development Union, my brother, my friend, Professor Atiku, members of your leadership, the IDU, and then of course, our leaders who accompanied me here, the DG of the campaign and former Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, Elder Gosde Urubebe, that have looked forward to making. We have spoken severally in the past. We knew this visit would be made, just a question of when. I held back before coming here. I wanted an opportunity first to meet with our traditional rulers across the state, all of the ethnic nationalities, the Delta, and then thereafter an opportunity to consult with our party members. And now we're in the process of closing the campaign. So now there's an opportunity for me to meet with the Ijaw National Congress, the Isoko Development Union, and God willing, on Monday, I'll be meeting in a town hall with stakeholders of the Shekiri ethnic nationality. Mr. President, we are all Deltas, and we know what the season is all about. Beginning next weekend, Nigerians are being presented an opportunity to decide the direction in which this country to go on May 29th, 2023. Likewise, 2 weeks after March 11, Deltas will equally be given the opportunity to pass judgment on which direction they wish the state to go. I am a known quantity. I am no stranger to you, neither am I a stranger to the Isoko ethnic nationality. We are all Deltas. We know the challenges we face in the state. We know how rich this state is or could be. We know what resources we've received in this state in the last 7.5 years, which by last count from the Office of the Accountant General is 4.2 trillion naira. We know a consensus has been formed across Delta, in the Shekiri nation, in the Ijaw nation, in the Urobo nation, in the Ndokwa Kwani nation, in the Anyocha Oshibili Federal Constituency, even in Ika South, the Agbo Kingdom, even in the local government of the current governor. A judgment has passed in that LG, in Umunede, in Utoku, and several other kingdoms and communities in that LG. Government has failed. The consensus is that there is nothing on ground that is commensurate with total receipts that come to Delta State in the last 7.5 years. Our people are unhappy with the level of unemployment in Delta State. Our people are unhappy with the level of infrastructural decay. I will localize this to the Isoko ethnic nationality. The Isoko ethnic nationality contributes so much to the economy of this country and the economy of Delta State. The reason so much money comes to us by way of derivation is because of the contribution of the Isoko nation. And the question is asked, have the Isoko people gotten from this government what is commensurate with their contribution? Even before coming here, Mr. President, the intel we take from the streets is that even the Isoko people believe that they could have been given a better deal. You look at the main road that traverses Ugele through the Isoko nation. That is a major gateway, either Ugele, the Yoruba nation, or to Asaba through Kwale, the major road that traverses this place. It's been on the cards for almost 15 years. Similar roads are being constructed in River State in less than 1 year. Purport to do this road, and in 3-4 months, everything is washed up. But they are constantly engaging in patch-up and refurbishing major gateway in the Isoko nation, either the Yoruba nation or Ndokwa and Yoma. How much do you require to do that? Every year, in the last 2-3 years, we have to say every month the order. Today it is 100 billion, the next day or the next week 50 billion. In fact, we've lost count, but the total today is about 800 billion naira. We believe, in fact everyone believes, that with only about 12 billion, 10 billion to 12 billion naira, out of this total loans of 800 billion, more than enough to complete this road. I'm not so sure that these people are asking for too much. And then you go to the tertiary institutions here. We know how the Isoko nation has been laboring to constantly have the Delta State campus of DELS here meet up with the accreditation requirement, even to the extent that I'm told even the Isoko leadership have to raise money to help this institution meet up with the accreditation requirement. A state where we have received 4.2 trillion naira and 800 billion in loans. I believe about 2-3 months ago, the same scenario played out when an accreditation team from the Nigerian Law School, from Council of Legal Education, came seeking to have not just the Ole campus accredited, but the newly established law faculty at Owa-Alero. Owa-Alero is a brand new faculty, established and fully built and equipped in 9 months, while Ole Law Campus has been there for years, while Owa-Alero had no difficulty scaling the accreditation requirement. It took a lot of politics and reformed a lot of politics to get Ole to scale through barely the accreditation for this year. No guarantee for next year yet, but I'm sure Owa-Alero is a guarantee in perpetuity. You look at the internal roads here in Ole, nothing to write home about. Every year, arrangements are made perennially to accommodate IDPs My father has become the latest and the biggest business in Isoko nation. It is even a pride, I'm told, to secure one venue exclusively for the Soba deck, as if they're in competition to see who will establish the best IDP camps, when there's more than enough money to address once and for all the challenges posed by the flooding in the Isoko nation. Talking about the healthcare sector, I'm not aware that there's any functional hospital here in Isoko nation that Isoko people are entitled to and befitting. And the question is, why? While all this neglect is ongoing, we have Isoko sons and leaders who parade themselves as leaders, who claim to be friends and brothers and acquaintances of the governor. Yet they are not able to look him in the eye, and speak truth to power. For those who have been given positions, the positions have been utilized exclusively for the benefit of themselves, as opposed to the Isoko nation. Now, elections are around the corner. Having suffered 8 years in the hands of Governor Okowa, now he has the effrontery to bring forth someone who will do even more, as the agenda suggests. They call their manifesto more. More loans, more suffering, more neglect, just name it. That everything the Isoko people have suffered under Okowa, they should expect more from the PDP candidate. And like I said, the PDP leadership here are not even quarreling over that. They don't see anything wrong with that. I have come here today to offer myself as your alternative to change the narrative of Delta State, to change the narrative of the state. I intend to run a participatory government. All I stand for, most importantly, is fairness, justice, and equity. I will insist on my watch that whatever resources is sent to Delta State, either by way of FARC, by way of derivation, IGR, declared or otherwise, I am determined to ensure that all of the ethnic nationalities in Delta State receive their proper and appropriate recompense, for the most part, contingent upon their contribution to the economy of this country. And that's where Isoko stands to reap and reap heavily as they are entitled. I've come today to consult with you, to ask you to join me in presenting to me, based on your need assessment, what the Isoko nation will expect from a government that I will lead. I don't want to sit at home or sit in the government house and pretend to decide what should come to the Isoko nation or what should come to the Robo nation, what should go to Shekiri and Ijo. What I would love is for you, this apex body, to sit down with the other stakeholders and enter into a social contract with me. And the social contract will be predicated on this. We will support you as the Isoko nation. We will deliver you as the Isoko nation. And you will win. And in return for this support, in return for this vote, this is what we want this government to do for the Isoko nation. So it is, I hate to call it a deal, but that's exactly what it will be. I am known for keeping my words. I am known for keeping my words. When I ran for the Senate, I made a commitment to the people of Delta Central Senatorial District. I told them I will be different. I will be a different kind of senator. That I will fight to bring the dividends of democracy to our people. On the basis of that, I was re-elected senator for my zone. It has never happened before. We don't do it where I come from. Because we are very, very, very Republican, very, very educated, very, very qualified. There is nobody, there's no household you enter in Yoruba land when you not meet somebody who could step into your shoes tomorrow as a senator. We are all qualified. So it's a very, very big privilege for you to be picked on to go represent the Yoruba nation. And for the first time, they said I could go back a second time. And because of the vote they gave to me, I ended up becoming the deputy president of the Senate. An office I have leveraged to bring development to Delta Central Senatorial District. If I might add, some of these benefits have also come to the other senatorial districts, including here in Delta South. I believe in the next week or thereabout, the ones I can remember, there will be street lighting in Ume. Is it Ume? There was? Huh?
Your community is already benefiting.
You know, likewise, what's the next one there? And in addition to schools that are going to be renovated and the furnishing to come in, that should happen in the next week or two. In terms of furnishing for all the schools that we selected in both Isoko North and South. That will be coming from NDPC any moment from now. And of course, other areas in Delta South Senatorial District, inclusive of Ishekiri Nation and the Ijo Nation. We've done the same thing too in Delta North, most especially in Oshimili North, where we've constructed the road, as the road from Asaba to Ila. Done that, also giving them a jetty. There's so many things they keep reminding me, and I can't even remember all of them. You know, but the bottom line is, be careful, sir. You know, the bottom line is that I keep my words, I keep my promises. Should we decide today that the Isoko nation will stand behind me, in return, you will receive what the Isoko nation will ask for, which will sign on to. That's what has brought me here today. Governor, without a house of assembly, it's like you are setting me up to fail. Because I will have difficulty if you give me members of PDP to accompany me to Asaba. Of course, that synergy will be absent. I would need for you to assist me by also sending along with me to Asaba people I can work with, people I can relate to, people who share the same commitment and vision of the APC. That is why we appeal that our candidates for the House of Assembly, one who was here, just left to receive the campaign into our party and I permitted him to go. I talk about Dr. Michael Enahoro. I'll be glad if you are obliged, the assistant to send him into the house. So too is a young man from, is he Igbide? I think from Igbide.
Yes.
From Igbide, I believe. The House of Assembly member from Igbide. Will be most obliged to, if that assistance is rendered to us so that he can come. Because if you send, like Igbide, that constituency where Igbide is, if you send somebody like a Ferguson cannot bring anything. Today, Ferguson is working with the sitting governor. He's not been able to bring anything to Isoko nation. Is it when he now comes there to work with the governor of another party, that's when he brings something? I think it's common sense, you know. So I will be most obliged if you can assist us with people who share the same vision. It's a very, very profound election. It's an election that could make Oma determine what will become as a nation. You know, I don't need to go into the history. I know, Prof, you know, I know you know. The decisions that were made, irrespective of political party platform, a decision taken by all of the governors of the entire southern Nigeria, irrespective of party platform, that after Buhari's 8 years, the next president must come from southern Nigeria.
Chris Akwoti. You know the party man. I am not a people, let's put the record straight. Ado. Impeaches Ado. I must tell you that I am overwhelmed. I do know that in the course of growing up, I had a teacher who can be unusually comprehensive if he has to teach us in the class. As a little boy in the primary school, we call him Mr. Idioti. We were told somewhere along the line that IDU as we are is supposed to be apolitical. What a word. But that we are apolitical does not in any way rob us of our sense of critical reasoning, our sense of rationalizing things that we are faced with, our sense of objectivity. So, distinguished Senator, Your Excellency, the Isoko people that you have spoken to here today, they have their ears that have heard you. And we were equally told that the arrow you want to use to kill the leopard, you don't exhibit it before the leopard. Again, we were told that the old woman knows where she has used in giving birth, yet she has to put her back on fire. That is what we are telling you today. You've left us with an assignment, and be rest assured, in a matter of days, we will get back to you. Know it that in getting back to you, there is an underlying factor. The Isoko man has a wonderful understanding of the theory of social exchange. And one of the key elements that make up the theory of social exchange is about reciprocity.
We thank you for commenting on our videos. Please keep commenting. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so for regular updates. Keep watching Juvenis and keep buying Juvenis.
Juvenis is published bi-monthly by Peanuts Communications Limited. For enquiries, event coverage or advert placement, call 0803 360 8271, 0805 787 1199, 0702 811 3638, or 0808 152 4499, or visit www.juvenis.punux.net. Juvenis Magazine, inspiring the young at heart.